I'm Charles Dhewa. I'm the CEO of Knowledge Transfer Africa, also known as eMukambo. We work from the people's markets. We realized that evidence in the people's market was missing in our agricultural sector, to a point where policymakers thought agricultural marketing was mainly about big institutions like the Grain Marketing Board and the institutional buyers like supermarkets. Yet people are now selling commodities in the people's markets. Evidence used in the agricultural sector is seen mainly in informing production. Our hope is that when we gather evidence from the market, it should inform farmers to say, these are the commodities that you need to produce as a result of what you see in the markets. Gone are the days where farmers will just produce without knowing the market. Already we see evidence of that. Now financial institutions are now giving finance to farmers on the basis of presence of a market, which means the evidence has actually made a difference there. We see policymaking also being used in a decision to import maize, to import food from wherever it's coming from. There have been cases where government is now saying, we're going to put some ban importation of certain fruits because they've seen that locally we have evidence of availability of different fruits and food, which helps us. So we see that as an important part of evidence. Unfortunately, government and development partners don't put a lot of money into evidence gathering, generation and processing. People assume projects are just going to run on their own. There isn't much resources being put towards evidence generation from the markets mainly. Once resources are being put in production, fertilizer, inputs and others, but information and evidence is one of the critical inputs in the agricultural sector. But we find that there isn't much resources going there. So we think there's need for a budget on evidence. Every institution should say we have a budget for generating evidence. That to a budget commitment shows seriousness. So we think resources are really needed in terms of human capital and financial resources to support evidence generation.
My name is Yotamu Chirwa. I am a senior research fellow in the Biomedical Research and Training Institute, and I work in a department called Center for International Health Policy. Basically what I do is I collect data, develop research protocols, develop tools, analyze the information, write reports, and also publish whatever findings or evidence that we will have gathered. We use a lot of evidence in our work, primarily because we are a research organization, and all research obviously starts from some type of evidence that has existed before or that is in existence at a particular moment in time, because whatever we do is trying to reaffirm whether evidence is still useful, also question that same evidence to find out if there are gaps in it. So yes, the starting point for all research is evidence, whether in a packaged form as literature, as a document, or in any other form. That evidence marks the starting point of all the work that we do. So evidence is really important for our work. Knowledge is the essence of life, and knowledge is generated from evidence. No knowledge exists without support of some kind of evidence. So indeed, evidence is a very critical component of the work that we do. We use it to generate questions in order to establish the knowledge that we want to gather. So evidence is really very important, and we cannot do away with it in the nature of the work that we do.
My name is Auxillia Piringodo. I work for the Center for Development, Research and Evaluation. I'm a monitoring and evaluation expert, yes, and I'm also a director in the organization. I think there is lack of evaluation. Yeah, like there are policies that are just developed, but they are not evaluated to check whether these policies are in line with the development agendas in Zimbabwe. The way my sector uses evidence, we use evidence when we just finished an evaluation and when we want to draw the lessons learned so that they can be replicated in the next project.